think we are live. Guys, let me know if we are live, please, in the chat. Welcome everyone, this is CryptoCommons channel. Yeah, I think we're pretty much live. This is CryptoCommons channel, originally Russian spoken crypto educative and trading channel originally from Russia. Since 2016 or so, yes, I think pretty much so. The Russian channel, yeah guys, we started Russian channel in 2016, but to be honest with you, we didn't do anything back then. Lifetime. Yeah, you see, 2016 we didn't do anything, and whoops, is this some bots? Oh no, it is Russian channel statistic. Anyway, we just broken silver button, 100,000 subscribers, so we decided to do an English channel as well, and you are watching English channel now. So yeah, that said, please leave a like if you just joined, and if you do not understand completely anything, guys, if you are Russians, please unsubscribe and do not leave comments in Russian, please, because we want to pump the YouTube algorithms to do this channel, like to make this channel more worldwide, to let people from other countries may watch this also as you. So if you are Russians, please leave us a like and leave us alone. Yeah, so for anyone who speaks English and understand my speech, I'm sorry, sometimes I'm a bit slowly because I need more practice. Now my name is Greeny, now I'm living in Argentina, awesome country, by the way, trying to speak Spanish also here, but this is more difficult to me because I speak English so pretty much well. I think you understand me, because I even watch some YouTubers from, I don't know, maybe from India or Pakistan or some, I don't know, or some Asian countries. They speak much more difficult to understand than me. So anyway, like to see you all here. And by the way, if you are also speak Russian, or I don't know, if you are maybe Ukrainian or some like some of the regions and also speaks English, so yeah, you can even correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes now I feel a little bit, worried because not too much practice. So yeah, let's start from the beginning. Recently I uploaded a video, maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, about macro view on situation with BTC and crypto markets now, because as we see, we are very close to our halving event, which gonna happen in, I think, 20th of April approximately. Yeah, we need to call Carl. By the way, I think we'll have some special guests today later. So we are getting close to the halving event, and in general it is very bullish for Bitcoin. Let me check if everything is okay. Yeah, in general it is very bullish for Bitcoin and crypto markets as well, but especially for Bitcoin, as we see Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash and other proof of work coins not doing so well as Bitcoin now, to be honest with you. We will talk about this later too, about altcoins and alt season index. Is everything okay? I mean, the sound, the music. Yeah, bro, thank you. By the way, I already called Carl. Didn't call, but sent him a message, so maybe he will join later. And I think we'll have Joe Sass pretty much soon, if he ain't fall asleep recently. Maybe Tonway is gonna come, I don't know. Let's be patient and just wait and see. So what do we see about halving? Yeah, guys, if you're watching me in Russian or even in English, you know what I'm gonna say now. This is super bullish in general in long term, but you know, there may be some corrections on this long run. I mean, as we see in bull market, we normally see like 30 or 40% decline, and this is normal, but not in this cycle, guys, not in this percent correction, so approximately and maybe, yeah, like 15, 20 or even 10%. So what do you think? Can we dump even lower? I think personally yes. Because why not? Why not? Do you think institutions will buy at any price, like 50, 60, 70, no worries, 80, 100k? Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? Anyway, usually we see pretty much brutal corrections on Bitcoin. So yeah, I'm expecting at least that we will touch this EMA ribbon support, which now is at like 55. The upper band is 55 and the lower band is like 42k approximately. So if we see correction pretty much now or sooner rather than later, then I think these levels make sense. But if we continue grow up next like to halving and after the halving, maybe yeah, this band will be higher. What do you think? And also we see some signals from Terder, our favorite screener of order book statistics, order book data on chain from all major spot exchanges. So what do we see? Let's refresh the page. Yeah, institutions will fuck us anyway, but we can take profit from it. From this, I mean, what do you mean under fuck? They can build up a big market. Yesterday I was watching the recent Michael Saylor interview in English. By the way, I think we will translate maybe some fragments to Russian, but if you watching this still, I think you understand, so please watch recent Michael Saylor Saylor. Let's try to find. No, not Lex Friedman. Shit, I will find. One moment. Maybe I watched it under another channel, but anyway, okay, we will not watch it now, but it is pretty good. I forgot what I wanted to say about the institutions. Yeah, that they will build up a big market on it. I mean, now total market cap of this of crypto market is wow, it's already 2.6 trillion. Impressive. To be honest with you, I didn't see this quite a long time. Yeah, it is already 2.5 trillion. Okay, but it can be like tens or hundreds of trillions, you know. Yeah, I think we have a special guest. Eventually.
What up, dude?
Hi, Joe. I'm glad to have you on. I'm already streaming and talking about market capitalization, about global adoption, about all this shit. You hear me good?
Yeah, I hear you perfect, loud and clear. Sound beautiful. Your English is amazing, and fucking happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, by the way, I should do this so let everybody see you. We have Joe Sass, and we'll talk about markets and about trading, about what do we do now. Joe, what do you think personally? We are looking super bullish, right? Like we're breaking the resistance, but this is the resistance, I think, in my opinion. You see these yellow signals right now on pretty much all time frames. This is strong resistance what I saw, and I did recently a short quick little update on Russian channel, because for me these signals are significant, you know. It doesn't mean we 100% go sideways or down, but it means like 80% chance that we do this or this now, not like straight up. What do you think?
Yeah, so basically what I've been saying for let's say the past 3 weeks, what is that, March 5th that we peak out, you know, March 13th that we peak out. Basically what I've been thinking is, look, we came down on the 21st to what was that, 60, just above breaking the $60,000 mark, right? We stayed above 60K, and that was our channel. In my eyes, the fact that we had overwhelming support down there, that meant our channel was now going to be something to the effect of 60,000 to 70,000. And what I'm looking at, if you're that horizontal that you have down there, bottom of the channel, 60K, and then what happens to transpire during a channel is you get a mid channel. So basically a line through the middle of all that.
You mean
that's the channel right there. Let's say.
You mean if we draw a parallel channel to see the midline?
Yeah.
Something like this.
Beautiful. That's it right there. And so look, you know, when we came down to 65K, we had support down there. My last tweet that I posted was, guys, we have support.
Yeah.
And not only is it support, but it's to me very technical behavior. We have the mid range of the channel, which was a number of times support or resistance and support lately. The top end of the channel getting cracked and, you know, just getting picked at. So to me, this is what I see. I do think that this is bullish. I also think that we are faced with heavy resistance, and that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me that we would channel going into the halving, because there's a lot of uncertainty. There was a lot of uncertainty surrounding the ETF January 10th. A week, 2 weeks later, all of a sudden we started pumping again, and everyone's, you know, getting porn is getting more expensive. You know, Bitcoin's getting more expensive. So it would make sense to me that now that some of that dust is settled, that we would channel for a little while, and then probably hit some sort of halving hype, where we see some uncommon behavior, which is typical of a halving. We see some uncommon behavior. Last time it was, we were probably at 6,000, 7,000 last time there was a halving after the COVID dump of March 12th, 2020. So I just think right now we wait, you know, and the market channeling is a strong expression of that indecision, and before too long the market will make a decision, whether it's a hype, a move based on some hype, speculation of the halving pump, whatever it is. I think that's what's going to give greatest breakout potential, not really particularly anything technical. I think that one's going to be more of an emotional event, fundamental event.
Yeah.
And other than that, you know, we see what happens after the halving, because after the halving, you know, you can bet your buttons you probably see a dump.
Yeah, absolutely, but 100%. But if we're looking like a more zoom out and long term after the halving, like if you're trying to catch the short, catch the deep, I mean, you can, you know, leave yourself out of the rocket ship. So that's why we need to accumulate, even if, maybe even at these high prices. I mean, man, if we look at this picture, yes, we are now we are overexcited. So this is dangerous now.
Yeah, we'll see first halving.
Yeah, while it loading, we can talk. Oh shit, this also needs to be loaded. Maybe I think I have some internet problems. And by the way, we didn't close the CME futures gap. We closed it like we closed the mid range. You hear me right?
Testing.
Yeah.
Like there's
Oh shit!
Okay,
That's on my side. Yeah, that's problem on my side with internet. Now it's better. Now
yeah,
now it should be better. By the way, I say that we didn't close CME gap this time. We did touch like mid range of this gap. Let's see where is our CME futures chart. This should be. Yeah, we we were waiting to close this gap, but actually we didn't close full gap. It doesn't mean we should close it. Of course, in a bull market we can the gaps can be like unclosed. What do you think? Can we accept that this gap was closed or not if we didn't touch the lower region? Yeah, we can see it on Heiken Nashi. Yeah, this is it. Or even somebody told me that we should count from the close price, so from here. I don't know. Do you pay attention to CME gaps?
Yeah, I of course, yeah, I love CME gaps. I love actually, you know what? I might it might be better if I show my chart because I have all the relevant CMEs.
Oh, please, maybe you can share your screen and then we return to this.
Yeah.
If you want, yeah.
I'm drawing in the. Yeah, give me 1 sec. I'm just drawing in the latest gap. All right, so I'll explain also quickly to anyone that needs to understand. All right, you ready for me to take over?
Yeah, please take it.
Okay, here we go, and bam, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my CME chart.
Oh.
And I'll point out a number of things here that are very valuable. I'm sorry, you were about to say something?
Moment, yeah, I need to take your screen and move it here. Yeah, I think now you can see Joe's screen. Let me check.
And I could probably send you a copy of this, right? I can make sure I can
Oh,
send
it's okay.
you my exact.
Now we see your screen, so please go ahead.
Okay, we have this is every CME gap ever in Bitcoin, by the way. This is every CME gap that still exists today. We even have CME gaps down as low as 3,100. So I'm just pointing out there is this is a very accurate CME gap chart. There's different types of gaps. There's a breakaway gap, you know, continuation gaps, so we can talk about stuff. But I really love my CME gaps. I'm a big fan of CME gaps. I believe a lot of these CME gaps are gaps that we will never see again, and that still, even though we're looking at maybe 20 CME gaps, I think 16 to 20 CME gaps in total as we move along, you know, and include this section here. That still means that approximately 98% of CME gaps have been filled. They have a very, maybe let's say 95%. I'm kind of ballparking here, but every other single gap that could possibly exist, this, you know, every gap here, every other gap gets filled. So I think it's very important to take note of CME gaps. Now here's the latest gap. You can see we had one here, and it was filled. So the only gap that we're really dealing with in real time is 67,755 to 69,080, and that's a very local gap, and that's still in the top end of our channel range, right? It's still a very bullish place for us to set some more price discovery, which is what we've been doing now for a number of weeks. We have no price discovery between, let's just say, 45,000. Maybe a tiny bit of price discovery at 57 or so days worth, and then we don't have price discovery until a baseline of somewhere around $63,000. So we're establishing price discovery. Our only active CME gap right now is on the bullish end of that channel that we were discussing. So for example, right now the live price is 72 hours at 71,500. So the dollar mark, we'll basically say that the CME is $500 higher. So if we're going to factor this price point in, it should be $500 lower. So we're looking at 67,200. 67,200. Well, you can see above that mark, we have a lot of support. So there might not be people on the market itself trying to get the CME gap filled with a limit order in the system, but you can see right underneath it, 66K, probably our most significant wall on our way down. So I think CME gaps are absolutely crucial, and it does appear that people are looking at that.
Yeah. So you think the probability that we will still close this gap is pretty high, right?
I think it's very, yeah, I think it's high, and I think it's soon. I think it's also soon. Probably, if I had to bet, you know, I'd say within 7 days. You know, I'd say within 7 days, because but we still have 12 days before the halving.
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't see some corrections. Like we see corrections like 10, 15, or 20% instead of 30 or more brutal 40% correction in this cycle. Maybe that's because of institutions, but do you think they're gonna buy at any price, like 50, 60, 70, 80? No,
they start the sell-off up here. They put their limit orders, so they start the sell-off, right? They create the resistance, the market can't break it, and so eventually the average the traders out there will be the ones that push the price down, right? Because you can't be a whale and be actively selling unless you're just doing so to trigger some stop losses along the way. But again, that's market manipulation. It gets a little bit complex. But let's say that they want to get to this accumulation zone right here, just for an example. Well, what they would do is they'd create the resistance, cap the price, and where they would now have limit orders ready to buy in the market. You know, probably by something like, you know, around this point in time where we're retracing the pump by around 50%, maybe things will exacerbate. The pump will exacerbate, right? Or the dump will there'll be more fear. It'll crash harder and it'll fall faster. Well, that's where they'll have their orders ready to stack.
Yeah, man. Somebody writes in Russian. Somebody just typed in Russian like. I am watching this with online translation with Yandex Translator. That's
oh,
nice.
There's like live translation things.
Devices? Yeah, I think they're watching through via Yandex browser. It is Russian browser, and it can translate on the fly. Is the translation good, bro? Let's try. How it will translate the word mind-blowing. Mind-blowing times, guys. Because I translated it basically in Russian like as a roof, I don't know, roof blowing. Because in Russia we say like blow the roof. So okay, anyway, let's see. And Joe, maybe you can share us your settings on this order book overlay that we are seeing, because it's look different than mine. It's look like yellow and red. What are the settings you're using right now? Because we see massive walls. Danger. Yeah, interesting.
I might we'll talk about that. I'll give it to you for sure, but maybe we can give it to a few of your audience members. But you can see it's actually really nice. It's really nice. I mean, when we crashed over here, this was a very strong support zone. It was very clear to me that this was support, and this was also the middle of the channel. So you combine those two things: the dual band confluence, wide bid-ask spread in perp markets, a widening bid-ask spread aggregator spot markets. Things, you know, this system I think is actually really nice. It is really effective. So yeah, I'll share these with you when we get a chance. But yeah, look at this resistance overhead, man. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. 134, 120 dynamic at the, you know, at 73K. Yeah, it's looking pretty stacked. It's looking pretty stacked. Now as far as accumulating, like someone like BlackRock, as far as BlackRock accumulating and stuff like that, I would say sometimes they need the market to go sideways long enough for the sell side to build up enough liquidity that they can accumulate without much slippage, right? Slippage is a massive issue in Bitcoin, especially if price has been whipsawing. So I think hold on. Okay. So they need to create a sideways enough market so that sellers start planting more seeds and buyers start planting more seeds. But ultimately, these guys might want to market buy, right? Well, they can market buy 200 million, over 200 million. Oh, actually, right now, looking at it, it's about $390 million worth of Bitcoin between 73 and 75K. And a $2,000 price move is maybe, let's just round it, like 3% slippage or percent slippage. So I think every once in a while you want to be prepared for that trap. That way, when you do see a lot of liquidity on the sell side after the market's been going sideways, There's absolutely a very strong possibility that that has been the strategy of a whale to accumulate as much Bitcoin as they possibly can, with minimal slippage,
or even with a good discount. I mean, this looking like a Bart Simpson pattern. It could drop heavily, and they could buy more, while everyone will be liquidated who are using high leverage now. I mean, who opens long now with high leverage. They are like kamikaze traders. So we can talk about Joe's settings later. What do you think of alts now? I mean, of Ether, Solana, or other altcoins when we see Bitrash halving? Did you see a recent Bitcoin Cash pump? What alts are you looking by yourself now?
Just some alts. Solana sideways, close long, waiting for the next open. Right. So what I'm seeing, it's actually looking pretty okay. We had a similar structure down here where there's a lot of uncertainty, and we even breached the bottom of our descending triangle. You can see a general sense of the. Oh, let me get rid of this thing. You can see a descending triangle here. Fuck, come on, what is this thing? Why does it do a new one every time? I just want to draw it, and all right. So here's like the bottom of the descending triangle type of thing, right? Broke down and then got picked right back up, and basically what we're dealing with. Oh, damn. Is something very similar over here. It's not the exact same, obviously. You can't always get a carbon copy, but similar structure over here. Made a new high, and we're dealing with basically the same thing. Just the market's going sideways. Bitcoin's going sideways. A lot of the cryptocurrencies out there that got a lot of a big price move in them. A lot of them are now behaving based on whatever Bitcoin does. I mean, Shiba Inu, we're going sideways, mostly sideways. PAPE, after its massive run, catching up to Bitcoin's run, and obviously beating Bitcoin in percentage-wise, just going sideways. Solana, maybe a little bit of a curl up there, because I think there's a lot of people that are true believers in Solana. Probably more true believers in Solana than something like PAPE or Shiba Inu, right? So
yes,
Solana makes sense to me.
Solana seems to be more legit projects than a meme coin.
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, I just see the psychology here. The psychology is sideways and up with something like Solana, and it's mostly sideways, and probably sideways and down with a lot of other shitcoins. But they're being upheld. There's a lot of people that I think are looking at, as crazy as it sounds, they're looking at something like a fraction of a penny Shiba coin, a valuable buy. The market isn't really letting this thing move down too fast. After having done what it did, which is a massive steep move to the upside. And of course, looking at something like PAPE, same thing. This was bottom to top, probably around 700%, 71% from that move down there. And so now we've only been going sideways. There's people that are looking at this and saying, "Whoa, for point dick of a penny, I can buy 100 billion of these meme coins." And when the real bull market happens, because this isn't the real bull market yet. But when the real bull market happens, then these things will go maybe to a penny, and then that's the pipe dream that you have for all these shitcoiners, right? So I just see the psychology playing out. We have a clear support line horizontal here. We have a little bit of resistance, kind of got breached a little bit, so forth. But it's overall, in fact, we're in an active long right now on PAPE. Shit, I might want to take this actually. It's one of the things I really like about Gigatrend and PAPE is that it's insanely nasty. I think PAPE's only what, a year old or less?
Yeah.
And we're at 9,500% profit. So what I noticed is you usually want to wait for the pullback after we get a buy signal. You get a buy signal, little pullback, and you have definitely profitable moves in there. Now the trick is, how do you catch a move that's 700-800%? Obviously you got to be in the trade. So right now, I would think we're probably going to be going sideways a bit longer. Had a little pullback. If I was scalping this thing, I'd already be in the money. So just thinking about like my psychology, looking at a shitcoin, how would I act? That's what I'm seeing right now. I'd be trading it. Right now, I'm not necessarily looking for the big run. But you know, we will be getting those big runs, and this isn't a real bull market until we get the absolute shittiest of the shitcoins pumping violently. I expect to see shitcoins that have zero use case and are absolutely dead, like FTT token or Bitcoin Cash or any of these
or
things.
UST,
Those are
UST stablecoin, or how it called, Terra Luna.
whatever.
Yeah. Man, yeah, but you are looking at at the leader coins now. There is no questions about them. But if you take a look, for example, at DOT, or I don't know, even Dash or Litecoin, they are looking a bit different. What's your opinion on oversold coins? I mean, this is like overbought coins, you know. I mean, Solana, Pay, Sheep. But if you're looking at, for example, DOT or Atom, a lot of coins which are like breaking the ground still. Bitcoin is at all-time high, but they're still at all-time low, you know. What do you think of this?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, it's very clear that the reason for this is there's only institutional interest in one cryptocurrency right now, and that's Bitcoin, which has caused the anomaly of our current cycle. We've had anomalies before, and let me just point this out real quick. We've had anomalies before. We had an anomaly going from... Oh shit, let me move this to a daily real quick. Here was an anomaly. When we went from 3K to 14K, we had a 400% run out of nowhere in the middle of a bear market. You know, so, okay, could this have happened a little closer to the halving? You know, sure. And that's basically what we're dealing with now, is a problem.
Yeah.
What was happening here was Tether. Tether got all their money seized in Poland and in other places, about $1 billion, and then then the market fucking violently crashed, and then they started printing 100 million tethers every day, pretty much. And this was with the collaboration of CZ Binance, Palo Arduino, a number of big players in the you know, old school crypto game. You know, even Brock Pierce, I think, was potentially named in some of these allegations. But yeah, there was this was all a market manipulation scheme. This was a market manipulation scheme to print fiat tethers that weren't backed by anything in order to build up the Bitcoin reserves and sell into the general market to prevent probably the crash of things like Binance and other very cornerstone staples of the crypto space. You know, so this, you know, I know a lot of people don't believe in tether conspiracies and so forth, but to me the evidence is all very clearly there. And I believe we've had anomalies in our bear markets, and for example, the anomaly in our bear market was the ETF getting passed, and then iShares, BlackRock, whatever, you know, and big guys accumulating. You know, so it's just, yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I think the real question is post halving, what's going to happen? You know, what are these guys going to do? They started accumulating in the 60s. We're in the 70s now. The ETF is profitable from their eyes. So I think there is probably some pain. It doesn't make sense for them to never go into pain. Even Michael Saylor felt the pain of a bear market, right? So I think everyone's going to have to feel pain at some point. And I think that post halving, which is a very local scenario here, again, we're only 12 days out approximately from the halving. So yeah, I'm actually a very big fan of what's going to happen here in the next few weeks. I think we probably could have more of like that July 2016 halving scenario where you crash 20% or something, 30%, whatever, and then the market goes sideways, and then we see the real bull market, and the Bitcoin starts heading up toward the 6-figure range, retail gets interested, etc. So yeah, and once that happens, then the market-wide stuff happens, the shit coins run. So I think we're actually not far away, you know, a matter of months potentially away from all of our shitcoin hopes and dreams coming true.
Yeah, I just wanted to say October, maybe like October, as we usually see in crypto, is very bullish. Yeah. So we will see some sideways movements maybe this summer. But disclaimer, non-financial advice. This is not 100% sure. Joe, somebody asks you in chat, Ben Gunn asks you, what do you think about Monero XMR?
take a look.
By the way, there is some hot sale on this coin because it was delisted from Binance officially. Eventually, but still still not delisted from a lot of exchanges. I think Phoenix, KuCoin, maybe some others, Maxi. Please type what exchange, guys. Please type in chat what exchanges are still trading.
It's at least on Kraken.
Please.
I'm gonna check Kraken until we get something else.
Yeah, we will see it now.
Alright, so let's pull this up. I'm gonna get rid of the indicator. Well, let's just leave, for now, I'm leaving up this indicator. This is my go-to indicator for anything, stocks or now, looking at this on a weekly, let's say. Alright, so 2021, same as everyone else, actually a new all-time high, which is kind of unique. This thing has found support. It's testing that range, which is dangerous. I think we are in a dangerous situation. Man, I got this little magnet thing selected still. So I think if we hold this line, I'm actually thinking that this is the bottom. It's only got 2 points of contact, maybe a third one, very local third point of contact. Unfortunately, dealing with the lower high, a higher low, a little tough to tell right now what's going to happen. But for something like Monero, it as long as there's validators validating the chain, I think I think something like Monero stays alive, delisted, whatever. You know, look, you can have cryptos delisted from exchanges and still survive. You can have cryptos get 51% attacked and still survive. Ethereum Classic, for example.
Yeah.
You can have cryptos come out to be a complete and total scam and still thrive. FTT token, Tezos. What the fuck has Tezos done in 8 years, right? How many times have we heard Tezos and it never did anything, you know?
Maybe this is like buy the bad news event. I mean, sell the good news, buy bad news. Like as we see Ethereum Classic, as you mentioned, it was 2 times in a row it was 51% attacked, and then it pumped from $4 to 180 or something, like 40x. So maybe it is a good discount on Monero. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think unless this look, I can't say I have a relationship with Monero, but I'm just looking at the chart right now. You get what I'm saying? As an objective chart analyst, I see other points in history where a bottom horizontal was held well. Maybe a little bit of a breach, obviously a discount buying opportunity, and then it went off to go absolutely wild. What are your potential gains from now? 5x. You know, is this really something that you want to buy into? I would say no. I wouldn't think buying right now for a potential 4 to 5x trade makes sense when you got shit like Shiba Inu and you got shit like Dogecoin, and you know, because like, dude, how many cycles have you been through? We've been through quite a few. We know what's going to happen with Cardano. That's whatever, you know. Maybe I don't. Let's just look at Cardano real quick. I don't even know how much it is worth right now, but we're still talking 0.61. This is 60 cents. And this thing should, I thought it went up higher than $3. Again, I could be mistaken on some of these old figures here, but point is, you know, 60 cents to $3, that's a 5x trade. You know, what are the trades that I'm most interested in? I'm most interested in the coins that have dropped 99% and then are going to go up 5,000%. You know what I mean? And so to me, those are probably going to be things like the Shibas, the Papes, even Pork, the Pape fork. Did you hear about that?
Fork, Pape 2.0? No.
Yeah, so it's called ticker symbol Pork. They made a fork of Pape, and then they called it Pork, Pape fork. So they call it Pork. So you know, you get what I'm saying. The community is hilarious. The community and investors are very irrational. And what are the things that are going to be so intriguing to the average investor? And there's an economic concept here that says, as the cost of the superior good goes up in value, the demand for the inferior good goes up. So if you have Clorox bleach at the grocery store, and Clorox bleach doubles its price to $2 a gallon, and then you have store brand bleach, no name brand bleach, right? Well, if Clorox raises their price, then everyone's just going to start buying the gallon for $1. Does that make sense? With the no name brand gallon of Clorox of bleach for $1. Understood?
Yeah, no, doesn't make sense.
Okay, let me try to think about it, because I want this example to sink in, because this is this is actually one of the core fundamental economic concepts that I've had ever since 2017, and it's paid out every time. Okay, so your favorite whiskey. What you drink whiskey or something, or cigars, or what give me an example of something you like to deal with every day.
Smoke some cool weed, for example.
Okay, so say you're buying from a grower, and you know this grower, good guy, right? But weed on average is $50 for an eighth or something like that. Let's say it's on average $200 an ounce, and this guy's been selling you weed for $200 an ounce for the past 6 months. You guys are homies. He's got a good operation going that he can manage his supply and manage that price point. Well, what if one day, all of a sudden, he feels like a big shot and he says, I'm raising my price per ounce. The quality of the weed has not improved. The smell, the taste, the high, none of that has improved. But I'm now increasing my prices to $300 an ounce. Well, you're gonna say, well, I'm gonna go be buying the $200 an ounce from my other friend now, right?
Yes, if we see like a normal inflation. I mean, now I'm living in Argentina second year, and bro, I see a lot of price increase. They even have, like their prices in grocery store. They're changing from morning to evening.
Yeah.
So
well, let's assume in an economic model, we have to assume all else constant. All else constant. So let's ignore inflation. Let's ignore any of these other elements.
Yeah, of course.
The quality, the price of the weed was $200 an ounce yesterday, and without any change in quality, better, whatever, he doubles the value of his weed. Now it's $400 an ounce.
Yeah.
Well, you would, as a consumer, as a retail consumer, you would then say, well, why would I go pay $400 an ounce from you when I can get 2 ounces for that much money? You will start the demand for the other product. In this case, it might not be inferior, but let's say it's inferior due to the relationship you have with your friend. That's whatever. So you would then go. You would say, sorry, brother, I'm not buying your $400 a bag weed, and you're gonna go start buying $200 an ounce from the other guy on the street, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. They can say like, "Oh, bro, this is bull market, so price increased." If the price is in Bitcoin, I can understand. For example, our friend Tom Weiss, he is selling his events sometimes in Bitcoin, and I think the prices increased like 4 or 5 times this year. Or maybe he should decrease. Maybe he should decrease the price if we see such bull market. What do you think? Because I try to educate even my friends and my grower friends about Bitcoin, but I do not think he's still holding one.
Yeah.
But anyway, by the way, we saw some. I remember the times in maybe 2016 or 17. We saw some like cannabis coins for this, like pot coin and someone else coins on proof of stake for the weed, but now it's I think it's not in trend. Now it's by the way, MJ sector on the stock market is very bullish last years. But anyway, Cardano is looking pretty much promising. Can you look at Dash, please? Dash for our backholders, because Dash is looking like dying coin. What do you think of this? Maybe it's a hidden gem of this cycle. We hope so. It's looking like a bear trap, no? But it's not full history, bro. You should look on Polonix, I think.
Okay.
The second one. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we're not at the absolute bottom. Yeah, dude, this is gonna pump. It's gonna pump like everything else. This actually is probably one hell of a deal. $39. You're probably gonna 10x at least. Probably gonna 10x your money right now today. You buy it at $40 a piece. It'll probably 10x in the next, by October, December, whatever. So yeah, I think, look, this bull market, and this is what people forget, because times get hard for 4 freaking years straight, right? 2020, 2021 was our last market. and here we are in 2024 facing the halving when nothing's going to move until 3 to 6 months at least after the halving. And you know, people just forget about the cycle, man. 4 years is a long time, but you go through it enough times, you remember it doesn't matter what it is. Bitcoin SV, after having proven that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto, and we already knew that, but it's gonna pump. What other shit coins out there? You know, Tron is gonna pump. And,
Tron is in a constant uptrend. Tron is looking different than other coins, different than Solana, but different than Dash. It's in an uptrend.
And Tron is a complete piece of shit coin. Tron is a copy paste of Ethereum, and the white paper was written in, you know, Chinese. It's a total fuck all coin. Makes no sense, right?
This
I
is
bet
true.
you it's probably
this is true, but Tron is I think it's a second blockchain. I mean, in terms of stable coins using, maybe it's even first blockchain, because everyone using TRC20 USDT.
Yeah, TRC20 makes a lot more sense right now because of the Ethereum fees. Fucking ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And then you also, that's what I think every cycle has had its signature staple, right? The first one, the first big one that I paid attention to, 2017. The big hype was the fact that we were getting a lot of projects that were promising. It was more like the .com bubble, okay? A lot of projects were coming around, they were posting white papers, and they were saying, this is the solution to a blockchain related real world solution. We're gonna make DentaCoin for dental records on the blockchain. We're gonna make voting on the blockchain, right? Back then it was a little more idealistic, and white papers were still getting thrown around. And then come the next bull market, we had in between, you know, the beginning and the end of the bull market, we had Uniswap, Sushi swaps. We had all these fuck all, you know, swap coins where people were rug pulling left and right.
Burger swap.
And shit. Yeah, you know, and that was a big, and NFTs, that was a big part of the last cycle, right? So I think this cycle, one of the very important things to keep note of are other blockchains. I bet you this is the bull market of blockchains. Solana, Tron, you know, whatever, Pulse Chain. I know, like, no one likes Richard Hart. Everyone thinks he's a cocky piece of shit, and he is. But the truth is, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be a bull market, particularly for the cryptocurrencies that are trying to be a different blockchain, because you can't transact on Bitcoin, can't microtransact on Bitcoin unless you're using the Lightning Network, which to me is very easy. To some, they would say it's difficult, but I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, and I believe Bitcoin is still the best crypto out there, and the Lightning Network makes that a lot more feasible for microtransactions. So I think Bitcoin's answers, a lot of them are solved. But let's go to Ethereum, which previously was having 39-cent transaction fees and $5 Uniswaps. And now we're talking, at some points in time, $100 to $600 Uniswaps and $30 transaction fees. You know, so it only makes sense that as these blockchains get more clogged with users and users posting data, especially something like a blockchain as wide as Ethereum, where not only can you send ethers to one another, but you can have any cryptocurrency on there, and you can have any cryptocurrency project on there.
And
a massive amount
smart
of data.
Contracts and all this stuff. A lot of spam.
Massive amount of data.
A lot of spam.
A lot of spam.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said. That's without being disrespectful, I do think that is also the right word. A lot of spam, you know, a lot of spam.
Spam
So,
on a blockchain. I mean, this NFTs, kittens, and all this crazy stuff, and a lot of scam, by the way. Also, a lot of scam smart contracts on this chain.
Of course. And so it's ripped.
Can you take a look on this shitcoin number 2? Shitcoin number 1, actually, because Bitcoin is not shitcoin. I mean, can you look at either? Yeah, for someone who is involved. Me also. I have some either in my bags.
Just pull this
I
up
like to trade. By the way, Joe, I love to trade either inverse contracts because it's a little bit more volatile than Bitcoin. You know, either itself, it's like Bitcoin with 1.5 leverage. You know, something like that. Sometimes with 2 leverage. So I like to trade either because it's more profitable when there is a trend. You know?
Yeah, we are traders. I'll explain to you briefly why I tend to only trade Bitcoin. But looking at something like ETH, man, I mean, look, this is great right now. We're at a 100% move to the upside, and it's now fading out, right? So I think it's very possible ETH can enter a short-term bear trend. But the way things are looking, this will probably start a new bull trend and continue in an upward trajectory. Now, dropping MSR, moving to the weekly. We are near all-time highs, where Bitcoin is now slightly breached all-time highs. Ethereum is currently down roughly 20%, 30% from its all-time high. So I could see Ethereum doing some work here pretty soon. Obviously, if people start bundling Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF together, then there's going to be hype around the potential for an Ethereum ETF. On top of that, Ethereum has been classified as successfully decentralized according to the SEC, right? Are you aware of this?
Yeah. I'm just looking at your chart.
It just gives credence to the rumors. You know, if someone does start to plant a rumor that there's an Ethereum ETF, that rumor can grow into a wildfire. And I absolutely think Ethereum, look, as bad as it is of a chain right now because of the fees and their numerous fucking implementations that have failed their users, you know, proof of stake.
Yeah, it's a proof of stake, man. It's like scamming model. It's not really decentralized as Bitcoin.
Yeah,
but by the way,
rich.
Anyway, can you look at this on TRDR, please? Because I think there can be some interesting on the chart for trade like for intraday trading or something, you know.
Yeah, this is. I probably need to filter this out a little bit, but my TRDR settings for Ethereum. You guys can pause the video and take a look here. 100.00. This tends to be my style of late, and I'll just scroll through this. You can pause and take a look. If you guys want to adjust your settings accordingly, here is. In fact, you know what? This could be even easier. I'll do this.
Yeah, basically everyone can do how he prefer to it, like to look, because you have a lot of settings. I see.
I don't see status F.
Bro, I think we should make a new tutorial with you on both languages, because it's important.
Look, my last one got banned. My last tutorial video is completely banned from the internet, unfortunately, because of my last YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking too much shit about the government and shit, you know, so they took me down. But these are some of them. Let's just pull out. I just want to pull out. So here's ETH. It's pretty effective. I mean, is it the best thing you've ever seen? Not quite. Obviously, we get some pushback. You know, the liquidity isn't as deep in Ethereum as it is in something like Bitcoin, but you do get some great signals if you trade with the right stop losses and the right strategy, which, you know, I tend to do. Then you'll be making money on all these scalps, and I'm a scalper, right? So you'll certainly be making money. SAS as it stands now is looking kind of toppy. Wide bid-ask spread, aggregated spot markets, you know, but a wide bid-ask spread in favor of the bulls for the aggregated perps. Typically, I like to see that more so than I like to see aggregated spot markets, because these are where you have a lot more set and forget orders. So right now it's looking like we're dealing with a lot of overhead resistance below $4,000, which isn't even the all-time high. The all-time high for ETH is still 5,000 approximately. Let's just say 4,800. So the all-time high is 4,800, and we're dealing with resistance at 3,800 right now. Massive resistance in the 3,800 range. So I still think ETH has a bit of ways to go, and you can clearly see the lack of liquidity chasing the book, especially after a massive pump 34.4 to 36. And we have support, basically our last line of support at 2,800, and then it just gets completely illiquid below that. There's no liquidity below that. So I would say I would fear a bit for ETH on a bad day. Whatever happens could be bad. If we get some post-halving Bitcoin crash, I could see ETH doing a much more dramatic crash than Bitcoin's crash. Bitcoin's crash, just for the record, I believe I've said that I would be looking for $49,000 Bitcoin. So 50,000 is where it falls off. So
Makes
we
sense.
did have a massive wall at 49,000, which has since been pulled, probably added in some sort of aggregated nature up here somewhere, and it was purple, which I believe is Kraken. Shit, one sec. Yeah, Kraken's purple. So there was a massive order to accumulate a humongous stack of Bitcoin at 49,000. So this is why I still think 49,000, because the order was there, I'm inclined to believe we don't go below 49,000. Even though it's not there anymore, there's still a psychological reason that that was put there. So I think we don't go below 50. I think on a bad day, crashing from 70,000 all the way to something like 50 is going to be a
35% correction.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we would expect to see. You know, this isn't, unless we get a COVID dump, you know, like we had March 12th, where everyone was running to the grocery store to buy toilet paper, selling their Bitcoin to buy toilet paper and shit. That was a 50% crash from 7,000 to 3,500, approximately 7,500 to 3,500. And let's just look for historical accuracy here. The candle itself of the dump was a 53% move down. That's about as bad as it gets. That's about as bad as it gets right there. So I would expect post-halving, Bitcoin is the most likely worst case scenario is a 30% crash, roundabout. Let's say plus or minus 5%. Okay. So Bitcoin on a bad day might crash 25 to 35%. Bitcoin, however, or Ethereum, however, on a bad day can easily crash quite a bit further. Oh yeah, we're not looking at Ether right now. Hold on. So I would just prepare if Bitcoin crashes 25%, Eth is probably crashing closer to that 50, and that 50%. Let's just see where that lands us. From here, we're looking at our last support falls off at 2,800. So bam, let's look at 2,800 right now. That's a 24% crash, and yeah, if things get bad, yeah, this thing falls through the floor.
So it's like 2,800 region, or where?
2,800 wall here, and that's 25% distance from PRiCE. I guess we could have just looked right here. But 25% distance from PRiCE, we have our absolutely most significant wall, $63 million in orders. And our only other significant stack on the buy side is at the top end of the book. So people are really hoping for Ethereum to start taking off. But alternatively, on the sell side, you have the most significant wall in sight, which is a 97 million sell order aggregated across multiple exchanges. Up to 4,000, we got a 73 million sell wall. So, you know, it looks like the overhead stuff that we're talking about, we're probably at the top of the range. Everyone, I bet you, is stacked in preparation of preparing for a post-halving dump. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and everything is looking super bullish. That's also what makes sense to me. We need to expect some corrections, and but it doesn't mean that it is bad or that Bitcoin will it's a scam when it go down. It's meant a good opportunity, and nothing instantly, constantly growing. I mean, it should be pumps and dumps on this bull run. We will see a lot of pumps and dumps and sideways action. Joe, and personally you, what was the last trade you made? Or now, are you in a trade now? I mean, interesting.
No, so I basically, I had my son for spring break. I might have told you this. And I just stayed away from the computer for a long time. I took basically a 2-week break. This is my first time being back on camera with you. This is my first stream since spring break started for my boy. Now he's back in school. I got some things I can do again because I was in full-time dad mode. As you know, when I have my son, it's just me and him. I don't have help, so it's, you know, I like to give him my full undivided attention. Whatever he wants to do, you know, we're doing it. We're playing video games, you know, we want to sit down, watch a movie. I love my son and I love hanging out with him. So I just spent 2 weeks away from the computer. This is my first time back. and if I was to take a position, it's actually no position to me right now. I don't really want to take a position, even though SAS perf is looking pretty nice, looking very nice. For the follow through, obviously 5 to 10 band light ups, 2.5 to 5 band light ups, walking into a move to the upside. I like what I see. I think this is good, but I look at this, right, and it's looking bullish, and then we look at SAS Danger 5, and we are looking at a massive overhead spot resistance.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to take the short, because we are looking at really two competing pictures right now, and I don't, as it pertains to trading, I don't like fair fights. I want to be on side that's clearly going to win. You know, if I don't know if you watch fights every Saturday. There's UFC fights. If you put some shithead from the street and you put him up against any one of these UFC fighters, the guy from the street's probably going to get fucking massacred, right? And so it's like, unless I know there's going to be a massacre, I don't really want to take a position. If I really had to and I was scalping this, yeah, it looks like we have a top end resistance, you know, in the 72,000 plus range. You know, maybe that's where you want to set up your positions and scalp out, you know, within 2 to 3 hours scalps, you know. But I'm coming back off the couch after 2 weeks. I'm not really thirsty for all these trades. I'm more interested in waiting to find out who's going to be the clear and obvious winner of this fight.
Gotcha.
And right now it's not clear to me, because mainly it's not clear to me because we have such a strong fundamental event coming forward. And as you said earlier, sometimes it's sell the news, as bullish as it may be, right?
Yeah.
As bullish as it may be, it could be a sell the news event. The halving comes by, and how about we just use this as a recent example? Our most recent example is January 10th. We can go back here real quick. This is March. I just moved it to a 30 minutes, so I probably have more scrolling to do than I meant. But here we are, January, and this was a sell the news event. We pumped and then we fucking dumped violently, top to bottom. Top to bottom, we're looking at a 14% move down, you know, and it got a little worse. Top to bottom here, over the course of weeks.
Yeah. Sound like that.
20% move down. Yeah,
makes sense.
It just makes total sense. Sell the news, man. Am I necessarily planning for that? No. What I'm planning for is I'm planning for a hype pump that nukes some resistance, accumulates a massive amount of liquidity with a minimal amount of slippage because of all these orders, and then I'm betting, since there will be no incentive for a whale to buy into this type of liquidity, if they wanted to buy $100 million at 82,000. They would have thousands of dollars in slippage with 100 million. Whereas right now, if you wanted to buy $100 million worth of Bitcoin, you would move the price $1,000 or less. So there is incentive at this point for that accumulation to breach this resistance. After this resistance is breached, maybe there's going to be an aftershock where things move up a little higher from retail money. You know, $100 million scattered throughout the you know, tens of thousands of traders that are trading with $10,000, let's say. So I could see something like that having a bit of an aftershock effect. But for this particular case, I would expect there to be a sudden move up, and then same thing that happened on January 10th. So, a nice, beautiful green candle, and then, you know, straight back to the fucking support zone. And that support zone is probably 60,000 right now. We have beautiful price discovery at 60,000. But if all hell breaks loose and you know, the selling exacerbates and fear kicks in, then yeah, you know, 50Ks are looking awfully you know, awfully ripe for the picking. You know, below that, you could see that's where the aftershock would end at around, or the aftershock would begin at somewhere around 60,000 to 59,000. The fall off is pretty quick in the 50Ks. We're talking 24 million packs. So again, that same $100 million rest of the community start selling, the 10,000 traders that have $10,000 start selling. Well, now you're talking a $4,000 price move, and we haven't even reached 100 million at that point. We're at 680 right here, so let's go down to 780. That brings you all the way down to 51K. You know.
Yeah.
So that's how I see things playing out. I think that's what's going to happen. You know, been doing this a while. Predictions have been pretty spot on. I don't want to say I'm betting the house on any of this, but this is the story. We see this play out so many times, and I think it's a strong possibility. Going into the halving, we get a pump. Going out of the halving, 2 days later, the day of even, we start seeing the move down. You know, and then sellers start saying, shit, the halving came and went. Oh no, Bitcoin's not at $100,000 right now. That this was the cycle top. And how many times have you heard people say lately that this is the cycle top? You know, I'm still I post a thing on Twitter, and it's like, oh yeah, cycle top is in. You know, if this happens, the cycle top is in. Absolutely no way. What we're gonna do is 3 months to 6 months after the halving, we're gonna start pumping again, and that's gonna be the move where we breach six figures. But for now, the fear is gonna happen after the halving. Like, oh shit, this was the bull market. What? Why didn't I sell at 72,000? I better sell at 60,000 before this thing goes down to an 85% correction target of $17,000 to $20,000.
Yeah, man. So be prepared to buy the dip, guys. That's what I understood. Because it's just a traditional general market breath, you know. It grows and it dumps, so we need to be prepared, because I can imagine how many people gonna be liquidated, you know, under 50,000, who use over leverage. So use proper risk management also, guys. It's so
Amen
important.
to that.
This is important.
What's your thoughts on ACH? Someone asks.
Yeah,
Do you mind if I pull that up?
Can you take a look, please? Sure.
ACH. Let's just do Tether on Binance. Thing had a high,
Wow,
so this thing looks exactly like an ICO.
Looking WW, as
Yeah,
Da Vinci says.
Let's put this on a 4-hour and use MSR. So we're in a bull trend right now. Our bull trend is still strong. The clouds, in this case, this is called the beach. This is the sky. The sky is looking good. The sky will start to change color, and let me give you an example, maybe. Well, not really seeing any examples here, but ultimately what happens in MSR is the trend fades. The trend could fade. Right now it doesn't look like the trend is fading. It's still pretty wide between these moving averages. So if look, maybe it's a good buying opportunity now. It's 3 cents. I mean, look, this is the type of thing that has the potential to make you money. Looking at this history, from 3 pennies up to 9, that's a 3x move. I guess you know, that's not too significant, but in a bull market where you already have demand for this cryptocurrency, and it doesn't really have much precedent yet. I mean, this really didn't experience the bull market. This got into the bull market quite late.
Is it full history? I think yes, it's Binance. Yeah,
I would assume.
Oh, it was listed like in the beginning of bull market. No?
Yeah, that's what I figure. That's
in
what
the
I'm
end
guessing.
of the end of bear market. Yeah.
Okay. So it makes sense what it did, and it behaved like an IPO, an ICO, anything, right? A lot of the time when you launch a new crypto, it starts high and there's hype, and then bam, fucking straight to the floor. It looks like it's bottomed, and we're now higher than that bottom. Had a beautiful run to the upside from fractions of a penny, a 510% increase. We have a new 70% pullback, and from here we're already talking a 300% run. If this thing comes back down to a higher low, or even to this support range, yeah, man, I think this is actually a really good one that I want to pay attention to.
Yeah.
ACH.
Looking good. Can you take a look personally for me for Audio Coin? You know this project? I think I told you last time.
Yeah, you're the reason.
Audio's musical network. Yeah.
Tether on Binance?
Yeah, this one. It's a full history, I think, because I am accumulating my position right now. Because it's not a scammy, you know, white paper shitcoin. It's actually a big project. There are a lot of subscribers, even on my page there. So, and a lot of listeners. What do you think of this chart?
Good, man. This looks really good. I mean, dude, you have the.
I need some hopium, Joe. Give me some hopium.
Yeah, dude, this. You got a 15x run on this at least, man, and especially if you have users and true believers. Yeah, hell yeah, man. This is actually a really good looking position here.
it's very clear that there's a bottom, right? Obviously, it hasn't done too much to scrape out of there. And I'll give you actually an example of a crypto that I think has bottomed, and I'll explain what I'm looking for. Let me get rid of this. Let me line this out. Now, this is a bottom, right? ICO, typical ICO story. Dumps. And this actually is very reminiscent of the November collapse from Bitcoin from 20 to 15K. This looks very similar, or even from 6K to 3K back in 2018.
Yeah,
it looks very similar.
Huge
or 2019. Yeah, and then that was the accumulation, and this is the bull run. This looks so similar to Bitcoin. We came out of the 15K range up to the 25K range, came back to 19K, and that was your last opportunity to buy Bitcoin in the teens. And now this thing's probably going to start doing a lot of what Bitcoin's been doing. Get up to the next higher support level, the equivalent, let's say, of a 30 to 40K move, and then, so forth. This is what I'm looking for. This structure is, to me, it's ideal. I love this structure. This is one of the most beautiful things that you can see as a trader. And so if you did accumulate, then you're absolutely on the right side of history. And look, I'm not trying to shill anything here, but this is a cryptocurrency that, the same way you've turned me on to a couple, I think this has not just 15x potential, I think this has 1000x potential.
Wow.
So, take a look. Yeah, take a look.
Maybe, who knows? Yeah, maybe it's the next Dogecoin, but let's see.
But yeah, audio doesn't have the correct bottom structure. It doesn't look as clean as I want it to. My ideal scenario, drawing it out here, would be this thing turns into this thing, and then we start to go down here, and then we go up. This would be the ideal condition, I think, to have a pretty strong looking bottom, a couple pumps and dumps, whatever, bear market shit. But then we build our way out, break that high, consolidate for a minute, swoop back down to test this horizontal range, and then it's confirmed. Hey, this thing is worth greater than is not even worth equal to. It's worth greater than 35 cents. And from that point on, yeah, you're probably going to start finding those support levels until we go straight vertical again, which is what we would expect in a crypto-wide bull market, not just a Bitcoin bull market, just a crypto-wide bull market.
Yeah, like
we're getting closer and closer to that day, and I hope a lot of you have your shitcoin seeds planted, because we're basically coming to the end of the planting phase. We're spring. This is the last chance that you get to plant your shitcoin seeds before the bull market really takes off, retail gets involved, and then next thing you know, you're buying the top. You're buying the top. And,
yeah.
You see something go up 5,000%, you buy, and then it starts going down. Just don't be those guys that said, "Fuck, I missed this 6 months ago. I'm gonna at least get in now before it's too late," and then you lose your life savings on Dogecoin, and then you're a story on Reddit.
Absolutely. FOMO ain't started yet 100%. It's like we see on these alts, we see that maybe this is the bottom and we need to buy it now. Because if we look at Bitcoin, or some paper, maybe we should sell a little bit. I do not mean sell your hodl position, not sell your Bitcoins which you are like holding forever. But I mean, as a trader, you see a lot of resistance, but on these shitcoins the situation is opposite. I mean, do you think it's good idea to long these undervalued coins now, and I mean oversold coins, and maybe like hedge short BTC, or even take some profits on BTC to buy these shitcoins which are very, very cheap now? Or maybe it's not good strategy. I mean, I listened to Michael Saylor recently interview. He told about like diversification is not good, because you should be invested, for example, in Apple 100%, not in other like Motorola, or Nokia. So in terms of crypto market, maybe this is the same strategy. You should be 100% in Bitcoin, or maybe you should add some altcoin backs now. What do you think? I've
we've seen this enough times. I think Michael Saylor is right as an investor. you should probably plant your seeds in Bitcoin. But if you are a person that is willing to sell a cryptocurrency, I'm not a true believer. I personally am not a true believer in any other crypto project. Right now, as it stands, nothing has proven to me that blockchain, the complex necessity of a blockchain, is needed to create Web3. That just doesn't make sense to me. Why do you need a blockchain to do these things? Yeah, maybe there's some sufficient decentralization. Maybe Uniswap is actually a very important thing. I do truly believe that Uniswap was probably that's the most greatest innovation. But how many things do we actually need a blockchain to solve a real world issue? And that has always been, since 2018, the key word. We are using blockchains to solve real world issues, and that's always been a load of fucking horseshit. It's not like, I hate to say it, but doing music on the blockchain makes no fucking sense. Blockchains are designed to be inefficient. There are a number of
yes and no, Joe. If we're talking about copyrights or some ownership like NFT technology, maybe music and blockchain make sense. I mean, if you need to own your copyrights, or own your NFT single or something, NFT video, music video, maybe it's good technology for that.
So let's go into that one real quick, because I will argue that there is a use case for something like an NFT. The second that you post your music online, it has entered a digital space where infinite supply exists and infinite demand can be met. Therefore, the economic curve of such a thing would mean that the equilibrium price of that asset is zero. Owning the NFT of anything is owning just a hash on a blockchain. Owning the real piece of art is what is truly the value. Now, the only way that I see an NFT working is if Fortnite came out and said, we're making 10,000 skins and it's going to be an NFT, and if you buy this skin, along with it comes the NFT, which you are able to one day in the future. So let's say you got a skin, maybe that NFT of skin that you could playably in the video with and use to get your for a long time. You're not just anymore, and there's a Spider-Man skin coming out and it's an NFT and they're making 10,000 of them, and I want to put one, and who knows what happens. Avengers ended, but Spider-Man's going into phase fucking. We'll actually have the digital asset that is on infinite replicable. Can use this NFT, swap it for fucking Fortnite V-Bucks, and then buy more shit with a condition that I believe creates value for something like. You can't use NFTs for houses. You can't use NFTs for art. It's been basically the dumbest thing that possibly do is say a diamond is equal to a hash. An NFT that says this fucking hash, I own the private keys. Those private do not equal a diamond. It is illogical to think such a thing. It's illogical to think that if I own a Banksy painting on my wall, I have it up there on my wall, and I have a hash, there is zero value in the hash. If I traded,
absolutely,
right?
Yes.
The value is in the art.
Yeah, and by the way, a lot of, I think most of these NFTs were minted, or how to say, mined on Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. I mean, it was proof of work blockchain. Now it's called ETHW. Can you please open this shitcoin? ETHW, Ethereum work. I mean, this is the real Ethereum, which blockchain, which they were minted on. I mean, all those CryptoPunks $1 million were minted on ETHW. Technologically. What do you think of that? It doesn't make sense. They was just copy pasted to new Ethereum 3.0, which is proof of stake shit. And basically, I think you own two NFTs if you owned one before. I think you can claim your NFT on this shitty blockchain. What do you think? Can it pump in all season? You know, in all season bull market, this ETHW?
Yeah.
Because it's
Look,
looking.
it's building price discovery at a pretty decent zone. You know, bottom is in. You know, price is a higher low, or breaching higher.
It's the you know. The cost of this blockchain is, I mean, the value of Ethereum Classic blockchain, and is this is original chain. If you remember it, basically this is Ethereum, actually, because Ethereum then had 2 hard forks after that. So this is the original chain, and yeah, it pumped pretty cool previous cycle. What do you think of this cycle in Ethereum Classic as well?
Insanity. Bottom is in, rebuilding, testing previous highs, previous resistance. So let's see, we're getting there. I think if we can, this is technical though. That's the some of these shit. Now this is playing out tech. Bottom is in, numerous points of contact down there, rebuilding structure and testing first local high. So yeah, I think this is actually looking pretty good. If I was, you know,
look at RSI, man.
I wouldn't be super sad right now.
Look at RSI. It just came in a bullish, crazy bullish territory. Just came in.
Yeah, and that can last for a long time. Just to point out, just while we're here, I want to point out the RSI on something like Bitcoin. It could stay overbought for quite some time, and it's done this regularly. So when you do see something overbought, you might got a bit of a divergence, but you know, shit keeps moving forward. Look, we went from 34,000 to 40,000 after peaking for a long time, and our low point in the RSI was 39,000 after being overbought at 29, entering the overbought territory at roughly the high 20s. So yeah, I just wanted to point out that RSI can stay and remain overbought for quite a while. And look, even here after the all-time high stuff going on, all we're doing
in a bull market, Joe, in a bull market, RSI can stay long, overexcited, and in a bear market, the opposite. RSI can be overbought a long time, much longer than everyone thinks when we're buying the dip in the bear markets. Yes,
agreed.
100%.
So yeah, that's what I see. I mean, I think this thing's looking like it could stay cooking for a while. Now I still think it has technical play out. It's been playing out technically, pump, dump, you know, lower low, but supported at the region. Very good technical support. So now we're gonna probably act a little more technically on the way out with this one. You know, it's gonna behave a little more technically for probably the next 6 months. And with the halving so close again, 3 to 6 months away from the halving. Let's see here. Last time it was May. Was this it? No, that's Monday, December, some shit. Okay, our last halving in Bitcoin was May of 2020.
I have on my chart. You can type the indicator halving events, you know, and it will grow.
Okay.
Yeah, you see, you have some. Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't. It was October, May. So it was May. So that we're talking 5 months later, the coin starts its run. In 5 months. So let's say October of 2020. Let's look at some other shit coins on October of 2020. October of 2020, we were looking at. Well, this is the wrong place to be looking at.
Wrong shitcoin. It didn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, October of 2020. We started the bull run. I mean, well, we didn't necessarily start doing it like crazy, but here's October 2020, right there, and moving into it. October of 2020, right around here. We were going sideways and up, and until fucking ultimately making, you know, 1,400%. And obviously potentially more, but yeah, look, we're seeing this on some random Ethereum Classic shit. It's just when Bitcoin starts the market, the legit post-halving bull market, all these motherfuckers are gonna go absolutely insane. I don't relate to that party. You know, so I think it happened market wide. I think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, so
we need to accumulate, because we can wait for buy the dip, you know, and it will be growing, and then like we will FOMO in local high. We should not do this and much hard, because I remember on 30k, man, everyone saying, oh, you need to sell, we will buy it back at 20k or even at 12k. Somebody waited for 12k, but we see opposite things happen, and now everyone who were bearish at 28k, now they are bullish at 70. So I don't like this sentiment. I mean local sentiment, bro. I think we will see this kind of corrections, as you mentioned before in your prediction. I think also it's most likely scenario. Maybe we will pump a few more, but then I expect also some more brutal movements to downside, so we can catch the knife and buy some dips on it. 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of tapped out on what to say here.
Yeah. Maybe we can.
I think we've covered a lot of stuff.
Maybe we can wrap it up and continue later. Maybe even at your channel, if you.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I definitely need to post a video for my people. Like I said, I've been away for 2 weeks. Everyone's like, what the fuck happened to Joe, you know? So why don't we run a show in a few hours, maybe later this evening, and that's
gonna be cool. Maybe evening or tomorrow. Let's keep in touch, guys. Please leave a like if you like this kind of content, share, and Joe, thank you for tuning in. By the way, Tonways just answered me that he can't, then he unlikely can join. So yeah, we can. I think he's busy now. We can do it next time with Tone and maybe some other friends. I also will invite somebody. So thank you for watching, and be prepared for corrections, and buy the dip.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye. See you soon.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Joe. Bye bye.